Hello, today's session we shall start from the transportation process for a business model. And for this matter, first we shall look after some TM certification contents. So in this regards, first we need to see what are the contents to be covered for SAP TM 9.5 edition. So TM management and overview fundamentals will be about 12% of the total topic areas to be covered in the certification exam. Charge calculation and freight settlement is about 12%. Planning basics and manual planning is 12%. Freight order management executions 8 to 12%. Advanced planning and VSR optimizer. So VSR means vendor vendors specific optimizers. VSR it is related to this vendor what specific activities for vendor vehicle scheduling and routing optimizer. So how to optimize this freight cost, freight units to capabilities, how to assign these freight units to capabilities in a cost effective manner. So VSR optimization is vehicle scheduling and routing in a cost-effective manner to assign the freight units to capacities related to the vehicle resources in a cost-effective manner. So this is the VSR. What are the constraints as VSR optimizations, and to determine the sequence of deliveries and transportation dates. How to arrange this sequence of deliveries and transportation dates and times. So VSRs has got some specific activities. Okay. Hi, Narendra. Yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, so would you? So nobody has joined. I think you need to forward this message. You have already forwarded. Okay. 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 So please take care. Huh? Take care, please. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Please join. Huh? At the list. Okay. Thanks. Thanks. Okay. Vehicle scheduling and route. It is known as vehicle scheduling and routing optimizers. Hello. Hello. Markanda Naresh.
Yeah, hi, Samir.
Hi. Hi. Good morning. Yeah. Hi. Yes. How are you?
Fine, Samir. Thank you.
Yeah. So already, yeah, I'm voting. In fact, 11 o'clock time schedule because I
Mm-hmm.
think Narendra is out of station due to his journey to his native place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and any other persons, I think Hari
Ma'am,
and Hari
yeah,
will
are you
also.
also not join?
Hari will join. No.
I don't know. I just messaged him, but I haven't received any reply. Ah, you said you will join.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
wait for 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. And one person from overseas will join. I think.
I don't know. That update will be given by Narendra only.
Narendra told me that he has talked to one person
Mm-hmm.
for joining this session.
Mm-hmm.
So you have got this link, na Zoom link also.
Yes. I think he also forwarded to him. We'll wait for a couple of minutes.
Okay. So regarding the yesterday session, do you have any question for order management and transportation planning overviews?
Actually, I didn't get time to review that. Mm,
Oh, okay.
we'll get back to you if we have any
Next week, yeah.
chance.
Maybe some,
Yeah.
time is required because it is a new thing for you people.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, you have experience in SD side, sales and
yes,
distribution,
yes, yes,
deliveries.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Not recently. I moved to. I went to course outside. Recently, I moved to SD team. I have
Okay.
some knowledge on SD, but I
Okay.
don't have practical knowledge. Enough practical knowledge.
Okay. Fine. Fine. That's can be done if you have a basic knowledge. Then it can be enhanced to the experiential and expert level knowledge
Yes,
in
yes.
SD. It is not a problem
Mm,
because we start from the basics only.
mm,
Like SD, I have started from two things. One is the order management, and next is the delivery management. Okay,
okay.
so both are interrelated to each other. Order management is having all these settings for
Mm,
customizing and then master data, and then we shall create the sales order
mm,
based on the customer's demand. So demand is based on the current sales and the future sales, right?
mm,
MRP based demand and forecasting based demand, and maybe some other types of demands on the surveys, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So based on the customer demand, we are creating the sales order, just like make to order scenario of PP. And then after creation of the sales order, we shall create deliveries. Okay,
Mm,
so there is option of creating a 1:1 or many to one deliveries in
yes.
single sales order having the single document, of delivery, but it is rarely used in practical. We are having a delivery which is containing n number of sales order. Yeah, so this is the business model on which transportation processes are working.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And
Okay.
today also we shall see especially for some points for certification of SAP Transportation Management 9.5 edition. So there we shall discuss about what are the areas of the topics for this certification exam. It involves what will be the topics to be covered in the certifications, especially on priority, right?
Yeah.
Like which is having the more weightage for the questionnaires available or to be given in the certification exam, and what will be our action plan to cope with the topic
Certain.
areas. Topic areas. Okay. Hi, Hari. Hello. I think Hari has joined. You are in mute, Hari, I think. And
So every week we'll be having the same timings for the sessions.
it should be because if the timing will be same, then the understanding will be same. And I have blocked my calendar
Yeah. Yeah.
also Saturday, Sunday. Apart from Saturday, Sunday, later I shall also try my best to work to provide time on weekdays, working days, okay, to complete the syllabus and to showcase the uh, topic areas, especially for the SAP TM. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Later we shall extend our time on the working days
Sure.
also.
Sure.
It depends. It depends upon the business scenarios. I have to comply with the clients.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have also to complete some expectation to comply some expectation from the clients. So there I have to work. So it can be manageable. So we
Okay.
can discuss on the work days also later. Okay, but starting
Okay.
time should be 10 to 11 Saturday, Sunday. It is fine for me, and it is fine for you also. So maybe most probably in the morning hour, 11 to 1 or
Yeah.
10 to 12, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
it is flexible also.
Yes. Yes.
And Narendra told me that he will join very soon. And so, can you see my screen? No?
1 minute. Yes, I can see.
So,
Topic areas.
yeah, today's
SAP.
discussion will start from the topic areas to be discussed, especially for the SAP TM 9.5 certification exam.
Certification.
Okay, so our one of the main objective is to understand and to take a confidence level to a higher level for the certification exam, right? To grasp the things
Yeah.
required for the. Hello.
Hello, Samir.
Hi. Who's?
Yeah, Samir, this is Hari.
Yeah, yeah, yes, Hari. So I think Hari has used mobile phone also parallelly.
Yeah, now also I'm using mobile phone only, Samir.
Yeah,
Joined via mobile.
because it was having some echoes. Yeah,
Okay.
initially. Yeah. So I thought you are using mobile phone. So mobile phone is having some echoes effect sometime
Okay.
respect to Zoom. Okay, fine. So can you see my screen, Hari?
Yeah, Samir, I can see.
Good. So can we start because Narendra is out of station. He is locating at his native place today, I think.
Yeah, he said that, Samir.
So I have also started the recording also in the meantime when I
Okay,
have
Samir.
started discussion with Naresh. Okay, guys. So
Okay,
let
Samir.
us
Fine,
start
Samir.
a team our discussion today. And time is
Yeah,
precious,
Samir.
so we need to check the timing also.
Yeah,
Regarding
Samir.
these topic areas, okay, so let us just please mute. So I'm starting. Fine for today's
Yes,
session.
sir. Yes, Samir.
So as discussed, please mute. And I'm starting this particular topic areas for the SAP certification exam on version 9.5. So as per the present scenarios, as per the SAP's latest policy for the education and certification for SAP TM 9.5. So these are the specific topics to be covered based on the percentage of the contributions for the questionnaires which are asked. Like about 12% questionnaires as asked from SAP TM overview and fundamentals, which we have discussed a lot for last 2 days, and we shall also discuss about the TM overviews and what are the fundamentals in terms of the TM processes for a particular business model. And next 12% for this charge calculation and freight settlement. Charge means freight costing. So how to calculate the freight costing based on the transportation route, transportation lane, transportation zone, what are the goods quantities, or what is the delivery time. So it involves shipping point, delivering point also. So there is a particular calculation uh, rule for charging these particular freight orders related charges. Next is the planning. So as we have discussed yesterday, planning is the most essential and mandatory part for the freight orders for the transportation processes of a business model. So planning we discussed yesterday, and also we shall discuss about these details of the two types of plannings. One is the manual planning, second is the automatic planning. And how can we override these planning objects value in the particular planning cockpit. So there is a particular transportation planning cockpit. So there we can have these values. Also we have got Gantt chart based screen. There we can see the different entries of planning, right? And it will contain about 12% of the questionnaire. Next is the freight order management and executions. So based on the transportation planning system, we will propose a number of freight order. So we need to manage the freight order depending upon this reduction in freight costing and minimize the transportation lead time. Okay, so our objective is based on this freight order management will be two things: to reduce the freight cost, and second, to reduce the transportation lead time. Okay, and next is the execution freight order executions is involving the connectivity was or interfacing with these third party carrier agents. So these carrier agents may or may not have SAP, but most of the time the carrier agents or the forwarding agents do not have the SAP system. So we have to have the interfacing maybe through EDI, ALI doc system or any other systems to communicate the information, to communicate the data, to communicate the messages from SAP TM 9.5 to the carrier sites. Okay, so it has got different processes. So sometimes some companies are having some shipping engine. So the function of shipping engine is providing as a middleware which is acting as good as a uh, transportation management software to provide the seamless connection of data transfer from SAP ERP logistics and carrier websites like TNT and DHL. Okay, so these are the two main and major carriers who are the working effectively for the physical movements of goods from delivering point to receiving point. And next we shall discuss about this advanced planning and VSR. VSR basically stands for the vehicle scheduling and route optimizer. So how to schedule the vehicles like trucks, rail car, air, ships, okay, means of transport, using this optimizer to reduce the cost. So scheduling is based on this our requirement for the customers sales order. So basically it contains goods, quantities and delivery date. Based on this, we need to check all these activities for transportation processes. We involve the master data relevant to the transportation route, transportation zone, and transportation lane. And of course, shipping point is the starting point for the sales order and delivery management documents. Okay. So shipping point is the most important starting point for the transportation planning and execution processes. So we also need to just review and revive our knowledge and information on shipping point, because shipping point is the most important starting point for transportation process. Okay, how to define the shipping point, how to scheduling and rescheduling the shipping point, how to make adjustment in the automatic scheduling of shipping points and transportation route. Okay, any question?
No, Samir.
Good. So just please having some homework. Just please remember that we need to check the particular activities of shipping point and transportation route. So these are the starting point of our outbound deliveries relevant to the shipping function. Okay. Now subcontracting is also very much important for these freight forwarding agents. Like let us suppose that we have some subcontracting activities related to some inspection or related to some loading, unloading, consolidation or deconsolidation of the goods and products, maybe at the receiving point or maybe at the delivering point. So subcontracting is also having the specific service which is very much customized for this particular company at the lower cost. Okay, so subcontracting is reducing the cost, freight cost to a large extent. So they are providing very specific activities of packaging, inspection, labeling, or any type of customized service required for the uh, reduction in freight costing, as well as required for this reduction for this particular transportation lead time for this specific customer. Okay, so subcontracting, just like SAP MM, we are also introducing subcontracting in SAP TM. Most of the time we are using subcontracting in SAP MM and SAP plant maintenance for the refurbishment order. So just like this concept, we are using this subcontracting uh, to outsource our specific carrier agents functions to this particular sub vendor at the sub range basis to execute this function, to reduce the transportation lead time, as well as to cope with the particular scenario. Okay. Now, forwarding order management, after creation of the freight order, we need to take care about these outsourcing activities related to this forwarding order management. So forwarding order we create based on this freight order. So is forward one is to many and many is to one options are also there. We are having the options of consolidating the freight orders in a single forwarding order, or vice versa, or a single forwarding order may have in number of forwarding orders may have a single flight orders. Okay, this type of activities are available, these type of facilities are available in transportation management. Now next is the ERP integration to order management. It is having 8% weightage of the questionnaire, and all the others we have discussed it at 12, 12, and then 8 and 8%. Okay, so ERP integration is also very much important, but it contains lesser weight. It is about 8% or less, 7% you can say, with related to the order management. So for ERP integration we have two options are there. One is the CIF, other is the DM. Okay, uh, so CIF stands for core interface. It is used to transfer the master data like material master and business partner master. So business partner involves vendor and customer. Sometimes it is employees, but most of the time, more than 95% it is vendor and customer. So here for shipping operations, we are concerning about the customer data transfer. So customer data of sold to party, ship to party. Then for the billing, we need to take care bill to party and pay to party. So these are the four partner functions we need to review. Okay, as our homework, please, so that we can understand the integration aspects of ERP logistics to the SAP TM box. So one is the core interface CIF, which involves transfer of master data. Transfer of master data involves two things mainly. One is the material master, second is the business partner master, third is the, you can say, shipping point, which is most important for outbound deliveries, and some classifications and characteristics of materials, they are also required to transfer to maintain the batch management and the end-to-end process flow in logistics execution system. Okay, so these are the specific master data to be transferred from ERP logistics. Plant is also to be transferred, plant, storage locations. So these are the master data, you can say, master and config data. It has to be transferred through CIF. And DM, that is the direct, you can say, transactional data to be transferred through DM. That is the direct interfacing managements. So in this regards, we are having the concept of transferring the data, maybe in mass data, like transferring the delivery data, transferring the shipment data from ERP logistics to SAP TM. So shipment data in general transfers through ALE IDOC involving EDI process, electronic data interchange. So there we have got segments, we have got specific classes of data like main data or control data or status data. These are the three components of EDI, as we know. And there also we can need the outbound and inbound messages status to the different transaction codes like SMQ1, SMQ2, SLG1. These are the specific transaction codes to see the logs of the EDI messages. Okay. So these are the, and also we can transfer the data of deliveries, normal deliveries, which are having the nature of lower capacities through BAPI or BADI, using this particular setting for BAPI and BADI, like RFC setting, SM59, and all the other transaction codes we shall use to uh, call the remote system, remote client, and to check the ability of the client all the time. Otherwise, data transfer will fail. So for synchronous data transfer, we need to use BAPI, BADI, okay? And for asynchronous data transfer, we need to use ALE, IDOC using the ADI process, electronic data interchange. So there is a particular difference, especially for synchronous and asynchronous data transfer from SAP to SAP or SAP to non-SAP systems. So there we not we have to check from our side what are the specific complications and what are the specific features are available, what are the specific advantages are available for asynchronous data transfer, that is ALE IDOC, with respect to synchronous data transfer involving BAPI and BADI. Okay. And strategic freight management. So strategic freight management depends upon the business plan to reduce the cost of freight process, of freight order, and transportation lead time, involving transit time also. So transportation lead times involves three things: transit time, loading time, and picking time. Okay, so these are the three elements of transportation lead time. So whatever I am describing based on the practicals, objects, and practical activities for the process steps used in the transportation processes for a business model. Any question up to this? All these topic areas to be covered?
No, all these topics will be discussed later also, right? One by
Later
one.
we shall,
In depth.
because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am having this introduction, what is BSR, because it is new for you people. BSR is very much important for optimizing and reducing the cost of freight order. Okay, as well
Okay,
as
okay.
transportation lead time reduction.
Mm.
Okay.
I am making some points notes also.
Yeah.
In between, if there is some important points, please tell slowly. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, bilkul. Yeah, yes, yes. Also, you have any questions? Just cross check because we are recording this session. So yesterday
Mm.
also I have sent the record content
Mm.
to Narendra Garu. So I think you
Mm.
people will see and hear this particular words required for
Mm.
this specifically transportation management, because transportation management has got uh, many SAP defined words, SAP defined
Mm.
business process and
Yes.
process
Yes.
steps. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So also BSR involves the manual and automatic scheduling of the vehicles. Okay. Depending upon this transportation zone, transportation lane, and transportation route, we need to check about how can we make the automatic scheduling of the vehicles for the uh, shipping point, delivering plant aspects. Okay, so shipping point is always important and starting point for the PSR optimizer. Now, last three is having the least weightage, but it is also very much important to get required marks in the certification exam, like LSP based planning. LSP means logistics service provider. Okay, so logistics service providers, they are basically like the carrier agents. Okay, they are the basically the carriers we are using in TM, SAP TM for the TM processes. And they are also having their own planning and execution systems. And this type of planning and execution system, sometimes we are integrated through the portal based, having the integration of the specific portal which is out of TM sometime, but TM also having some portal nowadays, which is the web enabled portal. And sometimes we have some third party portals using WebDen Pro or .NET based systems. So this type of WebDen Pro or .NET based systems is having the capability to integrate the WebDen Pro or .NET based systems to our backend of SAP TM and ERP logistics. Okay, so basically master data we are retrieving from ERP logistics, uh, and configuration data and customizing data we are having in both the areas, SAP TM and ERP logistics for planning and execution. And then for transactional data, we start from SAP ERP logistics to create sales order, outbound deliveries. Then these outbound deliveries, sometime we are creating shipment using VT01N, yes, VT01N in ERP logistics, or we are creating freight order in SAP TM to do the physical movements of the goods from delivery point to receiving point. Okay, so and next is the advanced charge management. So advanced charge management involves some specific calculation of the charges based on the rebates and discount, or based on some pricing condition, or based on the some specific promotion conditions applicable for this particular customer, for this particular transportation zone, or a particular in a particular country. Okay, so let us suppose that in Canada we are having the transportation zone Z1. This transportation zone in this particular country is having some specific rebate or discounts or a specific policy or a specific export or import related activities to be fulfilled. So this type of charge management will be also activated based on the global trade system, based on the specific rebate, based on the specific discount, based on the specific promotional activities applicable for this particular scenario. Okay. So advanced charge management also we shall discuss how to calculate the charge based on this all these parameters what we have discussed, right? And embedded TM, I think as per our last discussion, we do not have this embedded TM which is inside the SAP S4 HANA pack like 1709 or 1809 edition of S4 HANA is having the embedded TM option in a single platform. We do not have any other box. In a single box, we are having SAP TM in S4 HANA. So embedded, basically the future of SAP TM is the embedded TM. And people are using this TM, but this TM nowadays is applicable for the lower capacity based flight orders most of the time. But again, it has got two options. One is the basic function, other is the advanced function. So basic functions, whatever we are using these particular flight orders creation, then also executions of this flight order related activities. And supply chain involves the advanced function. So it has got two components, embedded TM. Hello, can you please mute it? Some disturbance is coming, please. Okay, fine, thank you. And embedded TM has got two components. One is the basic function, other is the advanced function. Okay, so for basic function, it is coming with the pack. For advanced function, which is calling the supply chain function, right? For supply chain function, we need to buy licenses from SAP. So that's why embedded TM is used in S4 HANA pack, and it is applicable for less complex situation of transportation management. Right? Understood? With SAP S4 HANA 1809, or nowadays many companies are building up capabilities for 1909 as a SAP partnership approach. So these are the specific topics to discuss for the certification exam. Okay. Now the books for this particular list of ebooks for the certification code C_TM_95 special certification. So there we have two levels of books. One is the intermediate, second is the advanced, but we need both the books. So basically first book is the SAP book TM100. It involves the processes in SAP TM. Second one is, it is not a book, basically it is an online relay option, online document available with the learning hub LH of your company. So you can get access the learning hub from your specific SAP development related activities person. Okay, a person who is relating to the SAP documentation and development maintaining the practice. Basically, your SAP practice people can provide the access to this particular learning hub. It is known as SAP TM 100E, e-learning. E stands for e-learning. Any question for e-learning? Hari?
No, Samir.
Yeah, you know e-learning. Have you accessed the e-learning system of your company?
No, we never did before. We need to check it. I heard that it will take a lot of time to get access for e-learning.
Yeah. You have to get in touch to your practice people. Maybe practice is the correct person or the department. They can provide you access to this particular learning hub, but it is online. You have to see this document, but you cannot download it. This is a particular problem. You cannot download this document at all, but you can see for learning maybe half an hour or 1 hour timing whenever you feel free to access the LH learning hub of your organization. Okay, just please mute.
And okay,
Yeah.
and Samir, you said you will be providing some material today, right? E-books and workbooks.
Next, no. In fact, I shall discuss the ebooks. Maybe next class I shall provide the material. Okay, next class I shall provide. Next class.
Okay.
Yeah. Before that, I am discussing this particular ebook so that you can go through the books in the correct sequence. Right.
Okay.
There are n number of ebooks, and for most of the ebooks, we have got the corresponding workbook.
Okay, Samir.
Okay, one is the ebook, other is the workbook. So ebook
So
is
you
for
mean to say that?
Hmm.
Yeah, you mean to say that today you will discuss about these topics, and
Yeah.
probably next class you will be providing the book.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Samir.
Yeah, next
Fine,
class we
fine.
shall provide the ebooks.
Yes,
So
Samir.
these are the ebooks we are available. First is the TM100. It is the ebook, but TM100 EVE is the e-learning document, which is available
Okay,
in the learning hub of your company.
okay, Samir.
I think your company is a SAP
Samir,
business partner. Yeah.
Hi Samir, this is Narendra.
Hi.
How many documents are there for certification? There are many documents, right?
Yeah. That's we are going through one by one.
Yeah.
5 to 6
I'm
documents
asking.
are there. Yeah, 6 documents. 5 to 6 documents are there. There
Okay.
are two categories of books, right? There are two categories of books.
Yes.
One is the ebook, which is totally theoretical. You need to read these books, study these books. Okay, study, right?
Okay.
Next is the workbook. So after study, you need to practice it. Okay, so practice is the second part. But to clear the certification, it is required to study first. Deep learning.
Yes.
It is the concept of deep learning. That's all. So if you learn, memorize all these specific topics and scenarios, contents, and specific areas, what we have discussed till now also, they are in this particular book, TM100, which is the most important book for TM processes for a business model, standard processes. What we have discussed today also. And second book, what I have told, it is basically second one. It is a basically TM100E nomenclature. It is a learning hub document. It is not a book. It is also important. It is available at your learning hub department under SAP practice in general. Okay, so that's why it is having this particular symbol of monitor. You can see monitor symbol is there, na? So it is
Yes,
not a
yes.
book. It is an e-learning document. Any question for e-learning document?
No, sir.
Good. But you try this to access e-learning document. This is also very important because this document has got thousands of pages, and after which is divided into different sections or groups or chapters. You can say chapters. It has got, let us suppose, that 10 chapters. Okay. After every chapter, you have got some questions. So some questions are coming from these chapters also, indeed, in the certification exam. We observed that some questions are coming from this 20 to 25% questions are coming in general from these chapters. And these questions are assigned at the end of each chapters. Okay, so that's why it is also very important.
Okay. So yesterday I didn't receive that recorded file actually.
Today
I
morning,
received
can you
one
please see it? Today morning also.
through mail.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay, I didn't check.
Yeah. WhatsApp today morning I have resent it. And today also I have started the recording. Just whenever we have
Okay.
started discussion with, I think Naresh Garu is there.
Okay. Yeah,
The first
I got it. 31 is there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So today I think we have started our discussion with Naresh Garu. So okay. So second book I have discussed. So any question for second book? I am especially emphasizing on second book because second book has got, let us suppose, that 11 or 12 chapters. So every chapters have a specific questionnaire. This questionnaire are very important for certification exam.
If it's more about practical,
No, theoretical.
theoretical only. Okay.
Yeah, theoretical books, but it is very much to the point.
And this book will be available in our learning portal. You were saying.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, that second book will be available in our learning portal. I mean to say, yes, you will be providing.
Basically, Latin book, second book, it is not a book. It is a e-learning document. We cannot download it. This is a main concern with this particular e-learning document. We cannot
we need to
download
go
it.
through it. That's it.
Yes. Understood?
Yeah.
We cannot download it. System won't allow us to download it.
Okay. How many pages you can read? You should read it.
1,000 pages, I think. More than 1,000 pages.
Yeah. If you can read it, you need to read it. That's it.
Correct.
Apart from that, you cannot do anything with the document.
No. Second thing, there is a tip. You can do that is a screenshot, or you can use this particular snipper. Can you see my screen?
But 1,000 pages, it is difficult.
Yeah, that is difficult. But if you have,
you said not 1,000, thousands of pages. It is, I think, very difficult.
if you have patience, then you can copy.
Rather than reading, snipping will take a lot of time.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
then better
why.
we'll just go through it.
Yeah. Just go through it and take the screenshot of the question.
Yeah, that would be better. Questionnaires alone can be done.
Yeah.
That is okay.
I think there are 50 to 100 questions are there. 100 questions are there.
I think somebody has maybe done.
That's I don't know, but we have realized that questionnaires are very good.
Okay.
Yeah, but the person who is engaged in the SAP TM process from the beginning, in general, he or she is accessing this e-learning document of Learning Hub.
Okay. Yeah, fine, Samesh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And second, next is the S4LG1. Okay. So S4 basically S4 HANA system, and L stands for logistics. G1 basically it stands for group. So S4 logistics group. So it contains Innovative logistics processes in S4HANA Enterprise Management. So innovative logistics processes involves basically SAP EWM and TM, okay, in S4HANA platform. It involves both because EWM is an integral part of logistics execution. So we need to know some basic concept of EWM, okay, in SAP TM. It is required, okay. Now TM 110, it is also an important ebook. So it involves order management and planning basics in SAP TM management, in SAP transportation management, and it involves basically all these activities of planning and configuration and other settings also, master data setting for order management and TM planning. So first two steps is detailed in description in TM 110, what we have discussed yesterday. Order management and TM planning. It involves everything for order managements. It starts from configuration and customizing, SPRO, IMG menu, right? It involves master data creation, maintaining the master data. It also involves the driver management. Driver management also involves the maintaining the master data and setting of the configurations, some drivers parameters, okay, and related to the transactional also it provides the how to do this transaction, how to create the transaction based on the automatic scheduling of the shipping point and transportation route, okay. TM 110. It involves the customizing and configuration setting for order management and TM planning, right? Any question for TM 110? And S4LG1. S4LG1 basically it involves a group of logistics execution processes in S4HANA platform. So we need to know this chapter also. It involves SAP TM as well as EWM, some part.
Okay, Samir, fine.
Because SAP already stopped to support SAP WM. Already stopped means you can say supporting, but there is no development is happening for SAP WM like SAP LETRA. Okay. Now SAP LETRA is already on the obsolete box. SAP WM is already obsolete, but many companies are using SAP WM. Their business plan or business strategy is not allowing to use or is to buy SAP EWM. But sorry to say that SAP WM does not have any Fiori apps. So today is the age of Fiori apps, today is the age of Fiori tiles, also in SAP TM or SAP EWM practice. So there is no Fiori apps in SAP WM. That's why we need to think about SAP EWM. Okay. So as for LG1, it is also very much important document to gain insights of a new but developed practice for SAP WM and SAP TM on embedded platform of S4HANA 1709 or 1809 or 1909. 1909 is under progress for many companies for the development perspectives under SAP practice. Okay. And next is the TM 120. It is involving VSR optimizer. what I have discussed, VSR. VSR stands for vehicle scheduling and route. Okay. So vehicle scheduling is very much important for the SAP TM processes, how to schedule the vehicles, how to minimize the cost of freight order, how to reduce this transportation lead time. So VSR optimizer is used in SAP ebook, namely TM120. Okay. And also, of course, other optimizing concepts of the planning for the freight order planning. Next is the 130. So 130 is related to the basically integration of FI with the TM, and this integration objects involving the sessions involving the calculation of charges and settlement of the payments to the carriers in SAP TM. Because if we are having the services, we need the service of the external carriers, then we need to do the calculation of the charges and make the settlement. And there is a portal available which is integrated with the TM. This portal available, there we can see the status of these freight orders in terms of the pending settlement or the payment, and so on. So if the payment settlement is not done, then the service quality may be deteriorated by the carriers. Okay, and will be deteriorated. Next is the TM 140. 140 is especially for logistics service providers. So 140 is having some specific strategies, specific policy, specific scenarios for the specific countries like Canada or Switzerland or China or maybe Singapore. So these countries are having very much specific rules and regulation and policies under global trade services, under export and imports policies applicable for the transportation management processes. So logistics service provider, LSP stands for logistics service provider. So this party is providing this particular service for that particular transportation zone in a particular country like Canada. Okay, so TM 140 is very much applicable for such transportation related strategies of LSPs. Okay, so these are the important books. You can say 5 to 7, 8, 5, 6 book is essential. 6 e-books and 5 workbook. So e-book is the first to understand the theory part, to clear the certification indeed, and workbook is to do the practice. Next step, to work in the project. What do you want, team? To work in the project, it is required to do the practice using the workbook. Okay, Narendra Garu, any question?
No questions.
Yeah. Because these are the starting point, theoretical inputs, and then workbook you need to practice again and again. You need to do the configuration setting. If you already have configuration setting and master data in database, then you can create the particular scenarios of freight orders or freight units, right? If you do not have these systems, Then you need to first do the setting, then create the transactional data, whatever. But SAP has got some demo system also. So you need to check like client 400, you can note down. Client 400 is having some demo system. There are some already build up data, maybe with your practice. For SAP TM 9.3 or 9.5, whatever you have in your practice area. Okay. 400.
Okay.
Client 400, like client 800 for ERP logistics is the SAP learning hub related data. Okay. Similarly, client 400 is applicable for the SAP e-learning relevant data for practice in TM. Also EWM, I think client 400 is there. EWM, yes. EWM is also client 400 as per the SAP best practice for learning and education, L&D. Client.
All, okay, these all ebook from 9.5 version only, right?
Yeah. See, version is developing depending upon the SAP's business plan for product development activities, right? SAP has got 4 product development centers across the globe. Like one is the Beijing, Bangalore, then Waldorf, and one more place is there. So depending upon this development, product development strategy, SAP is introducing the version, maybe once in a 3 month or once in a 6 month and so on. Okay, for different platforms or roadmaps. It is roadmap. It is known as roadmaps. But the minimum version required for this particular certification exam is the 9.3 to understand, right? 9.3 to 9.5. 9.6 is also there, but it is the 9.5 is the limitation. So 9.3, 9.4, 9.5 should be there for this understanding of the basics, intermediate and advanced of topics. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If we have 9.2, then it is not appropriate. We must have 9.3, 9.4 or 9.5. 1 out of 3. Okay. And you can see the strength of TM100E also. It is very much useful in the learning hub. It is very important. It is very much important also. But you cannot download it. This is a problem here. It is not allowing us to download.
Yeah.
It is not allowing. We have tried a lot, but it is not allowing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We
there
will
are 6 books.
be anybody. Okay.
6 books. They are the ebooks for understanding and for remembering the nuts and bolts of SAP TM. You can say nuts and bolts of SAP TM. And for working in a project, we have to warm up our, you can say, confidence level to do practice using the workbook correspondingly. Every books have workbook, I think. Yeah, every books have workbook. Okay.
Yeah, Samesh.
Good. Now, yesterday we have covered 2 business processes under SAP TM 9.5. One is the order management involving sales orders. Okay. And other is the transportation planning. So transportation planning involves planning and scheduling, which is the starting point for this all the transportation and shipping activities like shipping point, delivering plant, loading group, transportation route, transportation lane, and transportation zone. So just I am requesting to the team that you please take some homework to study and check in the background about this understanding of the particular terms related to the transportation planning. Okay. Now today we shall move to transportation execution. Right? Any question for order management and transportation planning, whatever we have discussed? Yesterday?
No, somewhere I think.
Yeah. Now, transportation executions, it is the main process for executions of the freight orders and the starting of the actual goods movements to the receiving point at the customer premises, maybe at the yard management, okay, maybe at the dock. Most of the time it is at the receiving point of the docks in general practice. If it is country to country, one country to the inter-country transfer, okay, so it is most of the time it is at the location at the dockyard. Right. Now, transportation executions is having the EWM integration for executions, because WM is also we can use. If the company has WM, then we need to use WM. But as we know that SAP stopped development for WM, and from 2025 it will stop totally support and maintenance for WM also. Okay, if any person or any company is supporting WM, so it is not under the responsibility of SAP AG, right?
Then what is the alternate
EWM.
EWM only? Okay.
Yeah,
Understood.
we need to go to EWM because EWM is very much efficient. EWM is very much favorable and effective for complex operations of WM. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So because SAP has given time to the partners who is having less budget because of the business policy, or because maybe because of the business decision. Okay. But from 2025, the support and maintenance of SAP WM is totally stopped. Okay. The stopper will be there. And already SAP has initiated the activities not to provide any new developments for WM, not to provide any Fury apps or Fury tiles for master data or transactional data or any type of configuration data, basically master data and transactional data in SAP platform or HANA platform. So that's why SAP is already communicated to all the business partners and customers to use SAP EWM, Extended Warehouse Management. for executions. Okay, because it is very easy to integrate the EWM with TM, but it is very difficult to integrate SAP WM with TM. Okay, so this is a catch. This is a catch.
Okay.
Yeah, very difficult to integrate WM with SAP TM, but it is very easy to integrate EWM with SAP TM. All the new business processes and business scenarios, what we have got from the feedbacks of leading organizations of Fortune 500 companies. So most of the Fortune 500 companies are using SAP, and SAP is getting feedback from those companies on regular basis. And SAP is developing this type of new versions, upgrade or migration or conversion or new developments based on these feedbacks only. So it is not by chance, or it is not by dream to having new functionalities, to having Delta functionalities in a new version of SAP TM, maybe 9.6. Okay. So what are the differences? What are the new business functions which are to be activated using SFW5 transaction code in SAP TM or SAP EWM, maybe SAP TM 9.5 from SAP TM 9.4, we have got some new business functions. So we need to activate these business functions based on this Delta functionalities and the new functionalities. So Delta functionalities change in the old functionalities to get better business results, and new business functions are the new business functions like addition of a new field. Let us suppose that for plant in a particular screen to provide a new data for the users which will improve the KPI. So this feedback is collected by SAP from the Fortune 500 customers. Okay, it is not by chance, right? Hari? All the developments, all the new business functions, they are not by chance, but they have got proof and they have got some evidences of feedback given by Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah, Samir, fine.
Yeah,
Understood.
yeah. That's why SAP WM is the future of WM.
Okay,
Already,
fine.
already communicated. And next is the
Yeah.
logistics execution. So logistics execution, we have got a specific monitoring and event tracking. So previously, until now also, we are having the provision of event management to track and trace the events like change of freight order FO, okay, change of any specific settlement, okay, related to the billing documents, change of billing documents, change of payments, or change of delivery, or change of shipments. So creation of this type of logistics documents, okay, is to be tracked and traced by this particular SAP programs and routines. Basically, there are n number of routines in event management module of SAP. Okay. Now, in the newest practice in SAP S4HANA roadmaps, SAP has renamed the event management to Global Tracking and Tracing System. Okay. Now, the Global Tracking and Tracing System is used and it has taken the role of event management to do the tracking and tracing of the materials as well as all the events, that is change of the logistics execution documents, what I have named, in a single platform. So it will be very easy for a LE manager, logistics execution manager. It will be very easy for a plant manager. It will be very easy for the directors or material manager to track and trace the events, because at the end of the day, material manager or sales manager, they are the responsible person to track and trace the material in a single platform, right? Global tracking and tracing system is there to track and trace the material based on the different logistics documents in SAP TM. Okay, so it is available especially in SAP S4HANA roadmap, and they are also, I think, EWM 9.6 also trying to have this. Yeah, they are having. But SAP has provided a global tracking and tracing system of the goods movements in S4HANA 1809. Okay. Now, capacity monitoring. Capacity monitoring involves the capacity monitoring for the resources like vehicles. Okay. Also, capacity planning of the resources of vehicles, rail car, and ships. Okay. So it is required to mention the capacity for any specific transportation unit or rail car or vehicle or air or ships. Okay. Otherwise, we cannot do the monitoring. Otherwise, we cannot do this efficient processing of the freight orders, FO. Next is the transportation print documents. So transportation print documents, basically it is having the output determination process for these documents related to the printing, related to the EDI, okay, LE doc, whatever I have mentioned, related to this email using the SCOT connection, using the SOST connections, right? SOST connection is very much useful to determine these transportation related documents, output determination activities. Whatever the documents are outputting from the SAP TM periphery. So SAP defined transaction code SOST is very much important for technical fellows. And then also we need to check what are the other output types we have used to communicate the data or messages or logs between SAP TM and the SAP or non-SAP defined devices or packs. Any question for transportation print documents?
It's like sales documents, right?
Yeah.
For freight orders and all other TM orders.
Yeah. Yes. Basically, it is an output determination process used in the transportation documents like freight order.
Okay.
Forwarding orders.
Yes.
Correct. So freight order is the first step for the transportation related documents at the transportation load map.
Okay.
So printing of the freight orders is also sometimes necessary, or emailing of the freight orders is also most of the time is necessary to the concerned stakeholder to see the freight order status by the management requirements, or maybe by the senior managers of the LSP, logistics service providers. We have many big logistics service providers like DHL, right? Maybe like TNT and others. They are providing third-party warehouses also sometimes in some countries. Okay, 3PL, third party logistics. So this type of companies, we are having the policy, management policy, to send the outputs of the transportation documents of like freight orders and forwarding orders. Okay. And last but not the least is the trade compliances or trade policies under GTS. So trade policy, again, it is an important perspective. So if we are doing the import and export transactions for the physical movements of the goods, okay, using transportation processes. So we have got different countries across the globe. These countries have got different rules and regulation and policies. And nowadays, every company is having their specific enhancements or specific progress for different countries under the same platform. And every country is having its own trade policy, okay, related to this taxes of HTS code, under the HTS code and commodity code. Do you have any idea for commodity code and HTS code, please? Commodity code and HTS code.
No, Samir.
Good.
Actually, commodity code in the sense, is it something like material code or something?
Basically, commodity code is basically used for the EXIM process. EXIM stands for export and import. EXIM. It is used in the global trade services. For any products which is to be exported from India to US, right? We need some obligations. We need to comply some obligations. We need to follow some global trade regulations for the two countries, especially
Okay, for
for
each
the
country,
destination country.
so then for
US.
each country there is a different commodity code. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, that is depends on country. This commodity code.
See, commodity code is the export related code, which is used
Okay.
for the particular material for the particular country. And HTS code is the import related code. Commodity code is of 10 digit in general. And these codes they are changing in nature depending upon the time period. So commodity code has two things. One is the value, other is the validity period. Okay. But some commodity codes are common for the n number of countries in Senegal countries.
Okay, these
Understood?
are nothing but these are nothing but rules, right? Some
They are
export
the
rules
codes.
or
They are the
codes.
codes defined by the particular country's foreign policy.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Basically, it is a foreign trade management. Okay, it is a foreign trade management. Previously, it was known as foreign trade management under SAP MM. Now, slowly, it has gone to the separate module called GTS, Global Trade Services.
No,
Okay.
yes. Yeah. It is a separate model again.
Yeah, so GTS is totally a separate module.
Yeah.
Previously, it was coming under SAP MM, NSD. For import,
Yes.
SAP MM. For export, SAP SD. What is the name of the view? The name of the view was Foreign Trade in SAP ERP Logistics of Material Master. Okay. foreign trade. Now in S4HANA, the foreign trade view is removed due to the complexities in EXIM policies. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why it is known as global trade regulation. It is a compliance. Right? It is a compliance obligations. Fine. Any question for all these processes for transportation executions?
No, Samir.
Good. Now, what are the business benefits and profits we are getting? What are the advantages of transportation executions? We are improving the carrier handling, cargo handling, cargo for flights and air. And we are achieving the faster and more dynamic and response for the logistic executions because of this automation of the planning and order management. The impact of the transportation planning and order management is directly on the transportation executions. Okay, because of the automated process, we are having the faster and rapidly growing and responsive logistic execution process. Then we are also reducing this freight order cost with the improvement in the efficiency and effectiveness. So our motive to reduce the freight cost, our motive is to reduce the transportation lead time. Basically, transit time is reduced to a large extent. Okay. Any question for execution part? Team, fine.
No question. No questions here.
Good. Next, but it is the second last of this topic is the freight costing and settlement. So freight costing is the process of calculating the charges of the freight order, and settlement involves the methods to create the settlement document related to the billing and bank payments for the carrier agents or for the LSP, logistic service providers. Okay. Now the freight costings starts from the freight agreement managements. Okay. So there is a particular nomenclature or particular word called ARC, annual rate contract. So most of the leading companies in the world, they are having the ARC based agreements with the LSP. ARC means annual rate contract. It has got some terms and conditions defined with the particular LSP, with the particular vendor. You can say vendor or subcontractor. Okay, in a particular time period. So it has got two things. One is the what are the services they are providing at which rate for which route, means transportation route, transportation lane and transportation zone, in which country. Okay. And second thing, it has got the validity date, just like you can say quota arrangement. Okay. Like quota arrangement also has got validity date for supplying the material to the plant. Similarly, for providing the goods movements services, physical movements of the goods services, by the LSP to the company is having some agreement. Okay, having the validity date from this date to this date. The validity date in general for annual date contract is having 1 year, and in general it is renewed in January for every year. So it is maintained in the calendar year from January to December. So every January the LSP is the responsibility to renew and to revive the contract or agreement. Okay. Any question for agreement? Here we have also got some type of agreements, pricing conditions, and all these activities are there. Like time dependent pricing conditions or time independent pricing conditions. So most of the time we are having the time independent pricing conditions, but for the big LSPs like DHL and TNT, we are also having some time independent conditions for their big customers. So it is the mutual agreement, it is the mutual understanding between the LSP and the customers, right? The main motive of this agreement is to make two types of service. One is the based on the forecasting, okay, and other is the based on the just-in-time delivery. So two objectives must be fulfilled by the LSP to delight the customer. One is the provide the service on forecasting, and second, provide the just-in-time delivery. Okay. Any question for freight agreement?
No questions.
Yeah. For all the developed countries, we are having the just-in-time delivery concept. Or all the automotive, most of the automotive customers, they require just-in-time delivery like Maruti. They require delivery, they are refreshing delivery on every 2 hours in their Gurgaon plant. But companies like in the area of retail, in the area of textile, they also need a forecasting based delivery depending upon their market survey. So the customers like in retail or in textile industry, they are not so much sensitive related to the just-in-time delivery, but automotive customers, they need just-in-time delivery most of the time. Okay. Now next is the charge and tariff management. So tariff is also again related to this calculation of the costings and calculation of the charges for the cost sheet of freight order. Freight order is specifically assigned to a cost sheet under the FICO module. Okay, so it is the integration point between the SAP TM and FICO modules. And FICO also has got drastic change with the introduction of SAP S4HANA practice, like calculation of actual cost or calculation of material ledger for the multiple currency for the similar stock. Maybe some stock have different currencies for the different countries, so we can calculate separately for the same stock at the different currency level. So there we need to enable the material ledger objects in SAP S4HANA. I am telling S4HANA because S4HANA is very much integrated here for SAP TM nowadays because of its efficiency and report capabilities in a single platform. Okay. So charge is also useful in terms of this providing these specific scenarios for the specific companies to be fulfilled for these other LSPs partners. Like we have got some local agents, some local people who will fulfill the local requirements. They are also giving charges. So this is known as the business share, okay, in charge and tariff management. So business share is also an essential part for the calculation of the freight cost. Any question for charges and tariff? Team, understood?
Somewhere you said it is integration between FIC and something else. That
Integration
point I
point.
didn't understand.
Correct, correct. Because see, charging, we have got some pricing conditions, right? Some pricing procedure. So it is the SD pricing. So SD pricing is always having some integration with FICO. Like accruals, you know accruals? Calculation of accruals in pricing conditions, procedure,
Yes,
pricing
Ramesh.
procedure,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So you need to remember accruals. So accruals, they are the basically additional charges to be added or subtracted from the main costing calculation sheet, like charges due to the rebate or discount, charges due to the freight costing. So freight costing in the actual costing sheet of the outbound deliveries related activities for you can say billing and invoices is known as the accruals. So freight cost is an component of accruals, right? It is also a component of accruals, freight costing, rebate, discount. So these are the important components for accruals of SD related pricing, procedure, pricing procedure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it is very much integrated to FI. Ultimately, FI has to make some automatic account determination using this BTA, business transaction events and business transaction keys, like OBKK and OBYC. You know OBYC and OBKK transactions available in logistics area. Nowadays, in S4HANA, we are using BRF Plus to transfer all this type of FI related activities. Okay, BRF Plus. Basically, it is a business related platform to transfer the costing related pricing conditions to the particular GL account, general ledger account of FI. Understood? Any question? Or we shall deep dive? So it involves integration between the between the FI and SAP TM using automatic account determination process. Now, what is automatic account determination process? That's we can see in separate class. Okay.
Yes, Ramesh.
Yeah, we have got different BTE objects like BSA, GVV, BSV, BSX, WRX. All these components are there, which will determine the automatic account determination process with FI for the payments F-43. Okay. Now Transportation charges calculation, again, charges calculation have specific charges. Let us suppose that some specific additional charges based on the particular region may be related to the exim charges, trade charges. We need to take care of this transportation charge calculation separately. Okay, it may be in the percentage or maybe in the absolute value. Okay, so most of the time it is the absolute value. Okay, and but sometime depending upon the country policy, it is becoming the percentage of net value. In pricing conditions, to determine this costing of the freight. Any question for settlement?
Okay. So transportation charges when shipping execution and till
Yeah,
end,
yeah. After
right? After
completion of the
receiving the
shipping and
customer.
distribution, basically it is relevant to the specific some other charges. Some let us suppose that some additional charges are there with respect to some specific country specific policies. Okay, let us suppose that some country is having some additional charges for their global trade. Some countries have got some rebate. Some countries have some free charges, free on board charges, right? FOB. So
Okay.
all involving the Incoterms related charges, you can say. We have Incoterm 1 and 2 objects in deliveries
Yes,
also,
yes.
right?
Yes, right.
Yeah, so all these Incoterm related charges to be taken care in the transportation related activities also, like free on board, FOB. Another transportation charges may be at the particular transportation zone of Canada. We have got some import charges. Okay, if we are exporting them, so it is importing, right? So export charges is completed by the import charges. For any export operation, it has to be completed by the import operation by the concerned country like Canada. Now it has got some specific regulations for this country. Okay, no country is the same in the world. Similarly, no policy is the same in the world for the particular country. Okay, so it depends upon the country policy. We have got different pricing conditions type. Okay, pricing condition type. Maybe they are the dependent conditions. So sometimes they are the independent conditions. Most of the time they are the dependent conditions. Okay, there are two types of conditions. So pricing condition was the pricing condition type dependent and independent. So dependent is always having in the terms of percentage, but independent pricing condition time in terms of the absolute value, right? So the matter is that how to calculate the pricing conditions in the pricing procedure. It has a lot of impact in the accrual part of the columns defined in pricing procedure for the freight charges. So in general, freight charges, we are including this component, this amount in the accruals. Just for your homework, please see the accrual parts. How can you include these freight charges? Okay. Any question?
No questions.
Good. Thank you. So we have completed this freight costing and settlement. And after having this creation of the billing document using the VF01 transaction, we need to check this document type of like maybe F2. Most of the time we are using F2 document type in billing. And after the billing, we need to do this payment, getting the payment from the customer, or giving the payment or releasing the payment to freight forwarding agents as a part of the freight costing. Okay, which will be separately from the outbound related documents. So this is the normal TM document flow in a single roadmap based slide. So we have initiated our journey of TM process from order management, then planning, then executions or subcontracting, and last is the charges calculation and settlement. The process flow is clear, team? Any question for process flow? Left side. This.
Yeah, left side is clear.
It is clear. Fine, good. Now we are going to the deep dive. How the sales order are created. This is the logic of process flow. I think logic is also very much clear, crystal clear. Right?
Yes.
Logic is also very much crystal clear. Logic is also started from this SD sales order or purchase order or stock transfer or returns. So the orders may be sales order, purchase order, FTO or returns. So we need to understand what are the differences between all these documents. Okay. And we also include some other type of documents called scheduling agreements or contract here. Okay, so we can add contract and scheduling agreement in the orders box, blue box here. Okay.
So
Scheduling agreement can be a part of order here.
Samir, one question. Based on the configuration from sales order or purchase order,
Based on the scenario. Based on the scenario.
Yeah, that's what it can be sales order or it can be outbound order.
Yeah. Based on the scenario. Right, you are right. Based on the business model.
So then it will go for freight management again.
So we can add scheduling agreement, SA or contract here also, apart from the returns. Okay. Returns may be customer return. Okay. It has been customer return. And right side is the outbound delivery or inbound delivery. So most of the time, outbound delivery is having the reference of a sales order. Okay, or a number of sales orders. But sometimes we are having outbound delivery, let us suppose that for any returns, which is without sales order. Similarly, inbound delivery is also having. But inbound delivery is having reference of a PO, purchase order. Okay. We do not, in general, we do not create inbound delivery without a purchase order. But we are creating outbound delivery without a sales order in case of returns. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the main objective of creating the inbound delivery because of the inventory control also in WM. So that we can control the inventory of the goods and products in the business flow of supply chain. Basically to control the material flow. Maybe during the inspection, before the inspection, we are creating the inbound delivery. against a particular queue in WM. Okay. Now, freight unit building, using these two documents, we are building the freight units, which is a collection of base unit of measurements used in these documents. Understood? Freight unit is nothing but it is a collection of, it is a team of, it is a group of base unit of measurements. Let us suppose that freight unit is a pallet. It is having thousands. One pallet is equal to 1000 kg of cement. Okay, or 10 bags of cements, right? Or 20 bags of cements. Each bag is having 50 kg of cement in cement industry. So it is a freight unit, right? Pallet or container.
Yes.
Like we have got
Yeah.
drugs for medicine. So 500 liters of drugs of a medicine company is called a container. It is a freight unit. Next is the planning. Planning is also having the concept of capacities and transportation network, two components. And freight order is created after the planning automatically, most of the time automatically, based on these settings and master data we have done in backend. Okay. And also we are having the freight booking. Booking with respect to the planning parts, which is well in advance based on the future plan or forecasting. So we are doing the booking. Let us suppose that we have a plan based on the customer needs that we need to book some gifts, or you need to book some specific blankets by the retail industry for the customers located in Europe for Christmas season in December, right? So you can book in advance. And also it is relevant to the subcontracting for getting the specific service of leveling, unloading, inspection, or any type of specific packaging for their specific service, very custom service at a low cost. Okay, the main motive of subcontracting or outsourcing is the reduce the cost, reduce the transportation lead time, and to enable the high quality service. These are the three main motives. Any other motive is there for subcontracting team? Now, yes.
No idea, Samir.
Yeah. So this is the diagram up to this freight booking. So booking is done for the future for a time bound period based on the forecasting, right? But freight order is based on the make to order type scenario most of the time. So this is the difference between the freight order and bookings. So booking is basically also a type of pre-creation of this freight order for the forecasting requirement as well as for the future requirement. And they are also in this freight booking, we have got this particular workflow related to these particular activities for the rate table, calculation sheet, and the freight agreements. Okay, based on the particular sales. Okay, and that is the forecasting. We are active, and we have got the freight agreement to fulfill the focus based sales. Okay, we have some focus based, that is the future sales and forecasting. And related to these freight orders and for the freight booking, we have got freight settlement documents involving this costing of the freight orders. And after that, we also have some inbound documents related activities for creation of purchase order or service entry sheet. So there is a slight difference between the features of purchase order and service entry sheet. Service entry sheet is related to provide the charges against the specific services provided by the specific vendor or subcontractor or sub-vendor, like consultancy charges. Okay, so consultancy charges in terms of global trade services for Canada, for Switzerland, can be provided by the local consultants or local experts of Accenture. Like Accenture is having good consultancy charges to provide the local experts suggestions for the specific business scenarios. So they are also providing these services called consultancy services, and they are charging the specific charges for the specific flight orders. And for this, we need to create service entry sheets. Okay, against the PO. Any question for this TM document flow?
Samir, can you explain
the
again,
differences between
freight
freight order
booking?
and freight booking?
Which one? Freight order and booking. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Freight order is the order for the physical movements of the goods created, which is for the present and the current scenario requirement. Okay, which is to be fulfilled very soon based on the delivery date. Okay.
Okay.
Let us suppose that we have to deliver thousands bags of Portland cement. Okay, from India to Saudi Arab, Jeddah. Okay, on 28th of November. So for this we need to create freight order, right?
Yes.
Because our delivery date is very much decided and it is fixed. It is very much critical. We have to deliver the material of 1,000 bags of cement within 20 days, right? So it is make to order scenario. You can say.
Okay.
We are the producer of Portland cements in India. Maybe company name is ABC, right? ABC Limited. Now, so freight order most of the time is relevant to make to order scenario. Most of the time. What is freight booking? Flight booking, it is well in advance. Let us suppose that just like flight booking, we are booking in advance. Let us suppose that we have another company in India called Raymond or Bombay Dyeing. So this company is providing bed sheets and blankets of high-ended across the globes, or the cloths and apparels across the globes. So this type of blanket is to be provided to customer located in Taiwan just before the Christmas day, 20 of December. So we have enough time, 2 months, and we have already enough stock of blankets, various qualities, various grades, various ends, products of blankets available in the store of or in the warehouse of Bombay Dyeing in Mumbai. So we can provide easily. It is just like you can say freight booking done based on the forecasting or based on the requirement whose delivery date is not so critical. Okay. So it is called freight
Okay.
booking. And for this, we require freight, both the cases. Without freight order, we cannot do it, right? We cannot do it. That's why previously, most of the companies, they are not using SAP TM or TM. They are just outsourcing vendors for transportation as transport agents. They do not take care about the calculation of the freight orders. They do not take care about the transportation lane, transport route, transportation zone, nothing. Shipping point, they are not so much taking care about the shipping point previously. But nowadays, with the introduction of transportation management, we can reduce the transportation cost up to 25% most of the time. And we can reduce the transportation lead time up to 20% in many cases realized by the Fortune 500 companies. Okay. Previously, it was not followed by companies. Most of the companies, leading companies also did not follow the transportation management process. They are outsourcing it. They have outsourced it. But there is a huge loss and huge cost involved in freight costing. So how to reduce the freight costing? How to reduce the or optimize the transportation lead time? This can be done by SAP TM. Okay.
Okay.
Any question?
For each freight order, there is need necessary, right? Freight booking.
Yeah. Because freight booking is also a part of planning. Okay. Hello.
It's not necessary, right?
No. Yesterday also we had
Hello?
discussed, but not so detailed. Yesterday we have just
Okay.
called the freight booking term, but we have not discussed so detail about the freight booking document.
Okay.
Slowly, whenever we go ahead, we shall discuss in details and we shall do the deep learning. Okay.
Okay, Samir.
So we have done deep learning. Step S1 for freight booking today. So it is a part of our deep learning process on TM. Understood for the concept of subcontracting? Why we are using subcontracting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For a special packaging, special inspection or special labeling or any special customized service or any special customized, maybe some suggestions or consultants, every type. We can do this type of activities called subcontracting. Basically service related activities. Okay. Because the transport management is very complex business process for any company, which is very much prone to the high transportation cost, that is the freight cost, and inadequate or inefficient or inappropriate or non-optimized transportation lead time. So that's why we need to implement transportation management for all the leading companies across the globe. So nowadays about 700 companies under Fortune 1000 companies list, they are using transportation management. But SAP transportation management is used by very less companies. Okay, so transportation management's having such solutions in non-SAP areas using the .NET, shipping engine and other products. Many companies is having a shipping engine which is working as good as SAP defined transportation management pack. But SAP product is very much useful, very much easy in and accuracy in data and discipline in this business process to build up a good practice for the business model in terms of integration, in terms of data management, in terms of analytics, in terms of reporting for the transportation business processes. Okay. So in a non-SAP area, SAP TM has got many competitors who are having the shipping engines, which is acting as a transportation management app for the transportation processes. Okay. Any question? Hello.
No, for now, Samir.
Yes. Understood the TM flow. Any doubt for TM flow?
For now, it's fine, Samir.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
we'll go through the recording. Once again, we'll listen the recording. If you get
Yeah,
any
yeah.
doubts, I think in next class, we'll ask you.
Okay. And who has joined from overseas? Narendra Garu?
That guy, we don't know. Narendra Garu?
No, that guy didn't join actually. I think time
Oh.
also it's varying time. Actually, he said that
Yeah.
morning it's 5:30. So I
So
asked
he
him
is sleeping all the way now because of the time zone.
Yeah, that's what. 4:30
Because of the
morning.
time zone, is sleeping.
But he said that okay, no problem, I will join like that. He said that. No, I will check with him today. So,
Yeah. Just you please communicate this document
sure.
of recording,
Actually, he's
recording
interested.
document to him and request him to ask questions.
Yes. Yeah, I asked him same thing, but I asked him same thing, but he said that he's interested, but I don't know. But today I will check with him.
Yeah. So he is in which country? Switzerland or Germany?
Germany.
Okay. Yeah, neighbor country. Switzerland, Germany is the neighboring country. Okay. So
Yes.
I request you people to hear the recording and then prepare the list of questions for the next week. So in the meantime, I also try to collect all these books and workbooks in a single platform for this roadmap of training program. Okay, and so that it will improve your confidence level to understand, to use, reuse, and to work in SAP TM.
Okay, sir.
9.5. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So I am just closing and stop sharing this particular session. And have a nice day to all. Team. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Samir.
Thanks.
Thank you, Samir.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a good day.
Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali.
Same to you.
Happy Diwali, Samir. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice day. Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you, Samir. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, Samir.